All right, Patch with DCF Guns. Once again, we're hanging out and we're going over some of our processes here. We've covered our belt layout for open carry and competition type shooting. Also, these are great things to think about for our military and LE guys. For those of us, I want all this equipment to be here, and I want to be able to stow that magazine. I want to be able to retrieve that magazine without looking down here to see what's going on. So the same thing applies with my firearm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the draw sequence, okay? So initially at first, my draw sequence is simply seems pretty straightforward. Grab the gun, press out, and shoot, right? But what we do is we're going to break it down into a 4-step process. And why do we do that? Why can't we just say, hey, grab the gun, press it out? Well, because by breaking it down into a 4-step process, this allows us to A, start our moves and our drills that we're building on from different numbers in the sequence. So let me go first through the numbers of the sequence, okay? So the first step of the draw sequence is hand on pistol. I'm pressing forward. I'm really moving this gun because I want my web of my hand to be fully seated as high as possible, okay? And with this grip, I'm using my thumb here to break retention. If you have a strap or anything over that, position 1 is establish a firm grip, break retention. If you have no retention, don't worry about it. Position 2 is coming up and clearing the holster. Now, position 2 is a very common position people shoot from when they do personal security work, and it's also called position of retention. So from here in position 2, my gun is at my side. It's clear of my holster, oriented to the target. I'm using my rib cage as my support hand, and further, I'm angling the gun slightly to the outside so that as this slide reciprocates back and forth, it's not going to get caught up on my shirt. And a lot of these topics and stuff I'm bringing out, a lot of these things I'm bringing out are based on mistakes and errors that we've made in the past. So I don't want this to be pressed fully against my side here. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it angled slightly out. Now with this, my point of aim when I'm shooting from position of retention is my attacker's pelvic girdle. All right, pelvic girdles are like pretzels. You can't break them in one place. They always break in two, and you can bleed out in your entire cavity, pelvic cavity. And it's extremely difficult to get a tourniquet on there unless you take one of my medical classes and figure out how to do that. Having said that, that pelvic girdle is my point of aim. That benefits me because now my hand is up and I'm able to post off to keep this attacker away from the guy behind me I'm trying to protect. So I'm here. This also applies for the Tooler drill, or what's called the 21-foot drill. If someone is coming at me and I am not fast enough to get my pistol out to full presentation and draw, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it out to position 2, post off of him, and be ready to engage him. As I engage him, this is something I want you to think about. This guy right here. I've seen a lot of guys, advanced marksmen, come pretty close to hitting that thumb. So when I'm here and I'm do this, I change elevation like I'm doing a double or single leg in wrestling, right? 3 fundamentals: elevation, change, penetration, follow through. So I'm changing elevation, thereby increasing the distance between my thumb and my barrel. So here is position 2. Come back to the holster. That's your so what and why behind position 2. Try to give you the so what and why and the mistakes we've made and stuff behind these, because people are going to ask you questions, and I want to give you the so what and why answer. And if at any time what I'm showing you does not pass your sound logic and reasoning, I simply want you to throw it away, discount it, and leave a comment below, or ask me a question. And if my question does not pass your sound logic and reason, then simply don't follow. It's going to position itself. One, it's going to prevent me from flagging my hand as I bring my gun up, but the closer I can get these hands together and accomplish this karate chop, and now I've got my two thumbs up, I've got my finger indexed. So this right here, as soon as I formulate my grip, I call it, as soon as I establish the marriage in my grip between both of my hands, my thumbs are still up, this is position 3. Now I can shoot all day long from this position right here. Am I going to be as accurate as I will be at full presentation? Absolutely not. But there's going to be times and situations where I'm going to need to shoot from close range, and as I'm able to, I will further press that out, focusing entirely on that front sight post and making sure that as I'm shooting, pressing out my shots, I'm increasing that accuracy. So 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to go out to position 4. Okay, so as I'm going out to position 4, I'm doing my 3-finger drill, right? My Fonzie drill with the thumbs, driving them forward. I'm acquiring my front sight post out of my periphery. Notice my attention will always be on you, not on what's down here, because what's down here is all kinesthetic for me. So it's all touch. I want to do enough repetitions so that I get in the habit of all the work I do here is by touch, okay? And so having said that, I'm coming up, I karate chop. Now I know this hand's as high as I can possibly get it, okay? Hands are married up, that's 3. Position 4 is, I'm doing that thumb drill, introducing my finger into the trigger well. Now what I'm doing here is, as I get my hands married up and I start to press this forward, what I'm doing is I'm introducing that finger to the trigger well. Let me do it left-handed so you can see it better. I'll do left-handed shooter here. So imagine my support hand is here. As this hand is coming forward, my finger is introduced into the trigger, and as I press it forward, I'm pulling the slack out of the trigger. The slack is all the way out to the trigger, so that way when I get to position 4, I break that round. Because if I don't, I'll introduce my finger here, then I'll start waving it around and figure eighting it, and my shoulders will start to get tired. I'll start second guessing myself. So I want to train to present this. Once I had my hands married up, I'm gonna train this to break right there. Now when you guys first start this, and if you have a new pistol, I have what I call a new guy mistakes and experienced guy mistakes. So a new guy mistake, I'm telling you to take the slack out of the trigger from position 3 to 4, so that as soon as you get to 4, boom, you break the round. Okay? All of this is about economy, emotion, and efficiency. You will develop this and you'll find yourself be very proficient at it if you do these things by repetition. Okay? All these drills that I have you do, I want you guys to do, make sure everything's dry, no live ammo anywhere near you, and I want you to knock out 25 reps each for each one of these. So I'm here, hands are married up, the thumb drill, I'm coming out, breaking as soon as I get the full presentation, okay? So that's my draw sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, oftentimes, whenever we start a drill, think in terms like this. I like combatives. So let's say I'm teaching you combo number 1, right? And so combo number one is a 4-step punching, striking combination. So step 1 or strike 1 will be my jab. Number 2 is going to be my cross. Number 3 is going to be my overhand, hook. Notice, not making the boxing fracture by hitting the guy here. I'm hitting here. My knuckles are in alignment, right? And then everything's coming from my hips because this is where my power is generated from. So as I rotate the hips around, my hand's coming back up, 4, and hitting that uppercut, okay? So boxers are boom, 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 25, 100 times a day working their combinations on the focus mitts and stuff like that. You, as a gunfighter, you have a 4-step combo, 4-step move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, initially, like I sit out and switch in wrestling, right? That's a 4-step move. Cross my arm, post my leg out, sit out, tilt my hip back, roll around the right side of my opponent, secure his rear hips, and gain 2-point reversal. That's a 4-step move. So all these things have 4-step moves. But if you're a boxer or a wrestler and you do step 1, then step 2, then step 3, then step 4, what's going to happen? Well, as soon as you do step 1, your opponent, your enemy or threat, they get a vote. They always get a vote. So as soon as they see that step 1, what they're going to do is they're going to counter your move already. They're going to impose their will on you. So beginners get frustrated because they saw my move coming. They saw what I was going to do. I grab a gun. Guess what I'm going to do, right? So what happens is we're going to get here. We're going to just, as you do your reps, I want you just to count them out loud. It will be intentional at first. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Re-rack. And then slowly over time, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 4, 4. So it gets to that point where you're here and it's a smooth process. So